Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking at something really interesting. It's AI and Web 3.0. And how those two things could completely change the way we interact online.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think about.
So you sent over this article from AI News called "How AI and Web 3.0 Can Reshape Digital Interactions." It was published on February 7th, 2025.
Right.
And it's got me thinking, you know what, if instead of these boring profiles we all have now, we had dynamic AI-powered avatars, like ones that could really show off who we are.
It's a really cool idea when you consider how many people are online today. The article mentions over 5.5 billion,
Wow.
with most of them active on social media. So just imagine all those interactions, instead of being stuck with these static profiles, could be driven by AI. AI that can adapt and respond right there in the moment. It can completely change how we connect with each other digitally.
Yeah, I mean, right now our online presence is pretty limited. It's a snapshot, a few details here and there that don't really show the nuances of who we are.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But what if we could use AI to create digital versions of ourselves that are just as complex and multifaceted as we are in real life?
Exactly. And that's where Web 3.0 comes in. It gives us the infrastructure for these AI avatars to exist, interact, and in a way that's totally decentralized.
Okay.
These avatars could be buying and selling, going to events, even forming relationships, all inside a virtual world run by blockchain.
So you're telling me my digital self could be living it up in the metaverse while I'm stuck doing laundry?
Well, potentially, yeah.
I kind of love it. But okay, how does this all work? The article mentioned a platform called AntiX that seems to be leading this whole thing.
Yeah, AntiX is a great example of how AI and Web 3.0 can come together to create these digital humans.
Okay.
They're using GPT 4.0 to create avatars that can not only talk like us, but also show emotions.
Wow. So it's not just about looks. You're giving it intelligence, personality.
Exactly.
Okay, but where does Web 3.0 fit into this?
Web 3.0 brings ownership and control into the mix. Users can actually own their avatars, like digital art.
Okay.
Thanks to blockchain, they can customize how they look, sound, even their personality, to create something that truly reflects who they are or want to be, in the digital world.
That's amazing, that level of personalization. So it's like having a digital twin that you totally control. And because it's linked to Web 3.0, you actually own it.
Right.
But what about beyond just having a cool digital self? What are the practical uses?
Well, the article talks about a few interesting examples. Imagine brands using these AI avatars as the face of their company. So instead of interacting with some faceless corporation, you have a personalized experience with a digital representative that can answer your questions and even predict what you need.
So it's like taking customer service to a whole new level. Definitely more engaging than those chat bots we see everywhere.
For sure.
What about other uses? The article mentioned influencers using these avatars too.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting. Imagine influencers using these digital twins to make content, talk to their followers, even be in multiple places at once, all without actually being there.
Whoa, hold on. That would totally change influencer marketing. So wait, is this just for big brands and influencers? Or could anyone create and use their own digital twin?
Well, the article suggests that platforms like Antiforms want to make this accessible to everyone. It looks like they're building it as a SaaS platform,
Oh, okay.
which means it'll be easy to use and available to pretty much anyone. Plus, with Web 3.0, we could see a huge decentralized marketplace
Yeah.
where anyone can create, customize, and even trade their digital avatars.
It sounds like there are endless possibilities. We're talking about a whole new economy built around digital identities, personalized experiences, and a level of interactivity that's never been seen before. This isn't just about changing how we interact online. It's about redefining what it means to exist in the digital world.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. But what are your thoughts? Excited about this future? Any hesitations? What stands out to you?
Honestly, I'm both excited and a little nervous. I mean, having a digital twin that can do all this incredible stuff is thrilling, but it also makes me think about privacy, even our sense of self. If we're spending more and more time in these digital worlds interacting as our avatars, how will that affect our real lives, our relationships? It's a lot to consider.
You got some really good points there. Those are exactly the kind of questions we need to be asking as we move into this new territory. This technology is changing quickly, and it's our responsibility to shape its development in a way that benefits everyone. But before we get into the potential challenges, I think it's worth looking at some of the more positive applications that the article highlights. There are some pretty inspiring possibilities here.
Okay, so let's talk about the potential benefits. The article mentioned that AntiBix also uses a utility token called AntiX. Like, besides just being a platform for making these avatars, what does that even mean?
Well, that's where the Web 3.0 side of things really comes into play.
Mm.
Anti-X is like the fuel that powers the entire Anti-X ecosystem. You use it for pretty much everything. Customizing your avatar, accessing special features on the platform.
Okay.
And because it's a cryptocurrency, it works completely outside of those traditional financial systems, so users have more control over their digital assets.
So it's not just about creating a cool avatar. You're part of a whole decentralized economy where you have ownership and control over your digital life. That's pretty revolutionary. But the article also mentions something about AI agents operating in the cryptocurrency economy. What does that even mean?
That's where things get really interesting. We're already seeing these early examples of AI agents being used for things like automating trading, managing portfolios, even making investment decisions,
Right.
all within the cryptocurrency market. But now imagine combining that with these lifelike avatars.
Okay.
Now you've got this digital version of yourself that can not only interact with others, but actually participate in the digital economy.
That's crazy. So we're creating a whole new class of digital citizens, capable of working, trading, earning wealth. What does that mean for the future of work and finance?
It's hard to say for sure, but it could be huge. Imagine a world where your digital twin is out there earning income while you sleep. Or businesses can hand over those complex financial tasks to AI-powered avatars. It could change how we think about productivity and participating in the economy.
It sounds like we're right on the edge of this big shift in how we interact with tech, with each other,
Yeah,
all in the digital world.
for sure.
But with all this talk about economic potential, what about the downsides, the risks? What are some of the challenges with this tech?
Well, one thing we need to figure out is how to make sure everyone has access to this technology. We don't want to make existing inequalities even worse. If digital avatars become how we participate in the economy, we got to make sure everyone has a chance to create and benefit from them.
That's a really good point. We don't want to create a digital divide where only the people with resources, the tech skills, can succeed in this new economy. So what other challenges are there?
Another big one is security and privacy for these avatars.
Right.
If they're going to be handling sensitive information, doing financial stuff, we have to protect them from hacking and fraud.
Yeah, for sure. It would be a disaster if someone's digital identity was stolen, especially if it was tied to their real money. So what can we do to prevent that?
Platforms like Anti-Guess are already building in really strong security, using that decentralized nature of blockchain to protect data and make sure transactions are legit.
Okay.
But it's also on users to learn about digital security, to take steps to protect their own avatars.
So it's a shared responsibility
Absolutely.
between the platforms and the people who use them to create this secure, trustworthy digital space.
Exactly.
And as the tech keeps developing, we got to stay on top of it and adapt how we approach security. It's an ongoing thing. It needs collaboration and innovation.
It definitely does.
It feels like we're entering a new era of digital interaction, full of potential, but also like some serious challenges.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Exciting times. But we have to be thoughtful, develop this responsibly. We have the power to shape the future of digital interactions, but we got to do it wisely.
This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the possibilities, the complexities of all this. But I'm curious, from your expert perspective, what excites you the most about all this, and what are you most concerned about?
Well, what really excites me is how this could empower people, create more connection. Imagine interacting with each other in these really meaningful, genuine ways, no matter where you are in the world or what your limitations might be.
Yeah,
That's a future I want to be a part of.
I love that. But you said you had some concerns too.
My biggest worry is that we'll jump into this new digital world without really thinking about the ethical and societal impacts. We have to make sure this technology is used for good, that it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
That's a really important message. As we navigate this new territory, we have to put human values first and make sure technology serves us, not the other way around.
Couldn't agree more. It's up to us to shape this tech in a way that reflects our best selves, creates a future where everyone can succeed.
That's powerful stuff. It's inspiring to think about the positive impact, but I bet some listeners are feeling a little overwhelmed with all this. It's a lot to take in. Any advice for someone trying to make sense of all these changes?
It's definitely a lot, yeah. I think the important thing is to be curious, not afraid. Technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used in good ways or bad ways. The more we understand how it all works, the better we can shape it to benefit us.
So it's not about fighting change, but about understanding it and making sure it goes in the right direction. What can people do to stay informed, to engage with all these new technologies?
Well, there's a ton of information online. Articles, videos, podcasts, they all dive into AI, Web 3.0, the metaverse. Just start exploring, get a feel for what these technologies are all about.
It's like learning a new language, right? The more you immerse yourself, the better you understand it. And as you learn, you can participate in those conversations, those decisions that will shape the future.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of talking to people. Friends, family, colleagues. Share your thoughts, listen to theirs, have those debates. The more we talk about these things openly, the more likely we are to find solutions that work for everyone.
It's about awareness, sharing responsibility for the future we're creating. But beyond staying informed, talking to people, what else can we actually do?
You can support the organizations working to make sure all of this is developed ethically. There are nonprofits, research groups, advocacy groups. They're all dedicated to using AI and Web 3.0 for good.
So it's not just about what we do as individuals, it's about those collective efforts.
Yeah, it's about all of us. And think about your consumer choices. When you're thinking about using a new platform, buying a new product, take a minute to look into the company.
Okay.
Do they have a good track record? Are they honest about how they use data?
Okay.
By supporting companies that do things the right way, we can actually influence the market and encourage them to innovate responsibly.
It's about making conscious choices, using our spending power to shape the future we want.
Absolutely. Every choice we make, even the small ones, they all add up. And as all this keeps changing, we need to make sure it reflects our values, what we want the world to be.
This has been an amazing deep dive. We've explored how AI and Web 3.0 could transform digital interactions, looked at the economics, the security risks, and the ethics we have to consider.
It's been a fascinating journey.
Now we want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on all of this? Excited, concerned, head over to our social media and let us know.
We want to keep this conversation going.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep shaping the world we all want to live in.